David Smorgon, welcome to AFL.com.au.
Nice to be here.
After 16 years, you bring it to a close as time of President of the Western Bulldogs. You talked in the early days of 1997 when you assumed the presidency. You got a look at the books of the club and saw the financial situation. I believe there might be some horror stories, and it was a bit grim for a while there.
Well, it's been grim on a number of occasions, as it has been probably since the first time that Footscray Football Club stepped out on the ground. But back in '97, I think one of the first phone calls I had when I'd assumed the role of presidency was from the bankers to the club asking me to come to a meeting in the city. And I thought, oh, well, this is good. They want to get to know me and we can go on to bigger and better things. Unfortunately, the meeting didn't start out that way and didn't end too well when they told me they were withdrawing their banking facilities to the club and we had to go and find another bank. So it was with the cooperation of a couple of other long-term Bulldog people that we went to see the ANZ Bank, who fortunately and very quickly stepped up to the plate, because otherwise we would have to go to the AFL and saying we can't do anything because the banks have withdrawn their facilities. So we're always appreciative of the ANZ for doing that support, but notwithstanding that support, the financial issues of the Bulldogs over the course of the next few years was always problematic, and there were probably 2 or 3 times when we were bordering on potentially trading insolvently, which would mean I would have had to go to the AFL and say this is the situation and we can't do any more.
We hear reports that the Bulldogs' debt is still close to $10 million. Is that right? And will the club ever be debt-free, or is it more a case of being able to manage its debt going forward?
If you haven't got access to capital, there's only one way you can stay in business and grow your business, and that's through debt. So our debt has increased over the last couple of years because there's a couple of initiatives that we've taken on board that we couldn't fund through capital, through the lack of capital. We had to go to debt. So we've got some debt on our indoor sports pavilion that is a revenue earning transaction facility, as well as one of our Peninsula social venues, which is also a business returning a profit, but we've had to fund that through debt. So the debt can be reduced. Whether it will ever get reduced completely, well, that I'm not sure about.
You did everything but win on the field, everything but make a grand final. 0-5 in prelim finals. Of the 5, was 97 the worst, or
97 was by far the worst, Ashley, because in our first year as the Western Bulldogs, we showed what through hard work, through working as a team, could do. It would have transformed the club forever if we'd been successful in getting to a grand final and then obviously beating St Kilda in that grand final. A win in '97 after what we've had over the previous couple of years would have said, hey, anything is possible, and it would have transformed the Western Bulldogs Football Club. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. We went back in '98 and got trounced in the preliminary final, and then we had another 3 goes in '08, '09 and 10, and arguably in 2 of those finals we had the chances in the last quarter to grab the game and win the game to give us a chance to playing in a grand final and winning a premiership. It wasn't to be. So look back at that, 5 chances, and we failed at every hurdle.
Now, I know you're a modest man, David. Peter Gordon came out and said that he thinks your contribution to the Bulldogs off the field might one day be equated to that Ted Whitten made on the field. When people say things like that to you, how do you feel?
Well, Peter was very generous in his praise, and I've been very fortunate to have total support from both the board and the management team in all the 16 years. I've got no issues, no complaints about that at all, and I'll let people decide where we are and where we're headed to, but I think we're blessed to have a person such as Peter Gordon, with his business experience, his legal background, his passion for the club. He's a Bulldogs through and through, and I would just encourage all Bulldog fans, no matter what you think of the club at the minute, get behind Peter Gordon and the new administration, headed by Simon Garlick, to make sure that we go on to bigger and better things. Because the danger for the Bulldogs is if not enough people care.
Well done on a fabulous innings for the Bulldogs. Thanks for all your support over the years, and good luck with whatever comes next.
Thanks a lot, Ashley.